And you look at Conor after that leg break, he got fucking jacked.
Ripped.
Just gigantic. Like 200 plus pounds, it looks like. Just huge fucking shoulders. And that's generally not the result of natural hormones.
Conor McGregor has finally broken a silence the MMA world didn't even realize it was waiting for. After years of controversies, setbacks, injuries, doubts, and the kind of public chaos only a global star could survive, the most unpredictable figure in combat sports suddenly looks more focused, disciplined, and sharp than he has at any point since knocking out Jose Aldo in 13 seconds and shocking the entire sport. What makes this moment so striking is that no one saw it coming. While many assumed McGregor was slipping further into the lifestyle that has consumed countless great fighters, he was actually doing the one thing people least expected from the loudest man in the UFC. He was quietly putting in the work.
UFC's coming to the White House. Are you excited about this? I mean, have you thought about? I mean, it's a pretty cool thing.
I'm ecstatic that Mac is back, and what better event than to grace the White House lawn for a straighter? What I do best. I'm very, very excited, very eager, very motivated. Bring it on, baby.
Do you think that's when you maybe come back? I mean, what about come back for you as far as fighting?
I'm very happy that it's June. It was on in July. Now it's a month earlier. Even better. Bring it to April. Why not? Let's celebrate the birthday early. I celebrate my birthday months in advance.
So we could potentially see maybe possibly White House Conor McGregor.
That's a definitely.
That's awesome.
For sure, that's my event.
That is your event. That is.
Sure.
Conor McGregor at the White House.
It's over, bro.
It's over for him?
It's over, dog.
He made too much money, huh?
He made way too much. He went from plummet to making, he sold that liquor for what, 500 million?
Yeah.
It's too much.
Right. He got 100 million for fighting Floyd.
Then he was doing pay-per-views like nothing. Him and Khabib did 2.5 million pay-per-views. These dudes, he made too much money.
I have 8 months and change out to the White House event. It's a 6-month operation to get ready for this bout. And that's my focus right now. I'm just eager to climb the steps into being ready for my return.
From the spotlight, the social media chaos, and the public drama that once surrounded him, Conor McGregor quietly transformed himself from the ground up. The late-night tweets vanished, the party stopped, and the chaos that had long defined him melted away, revealing a version of McGregor that has the MMA world buzzing. He now looks bigger, sharper, cleaner, more explosive, and more committed than anyone thought possible after the injury that nearly derailed his career. Even Joe Rogan, who has not shied away from criticizing him in the past, has been forced to adjust his view, describing it as one of the most astonishing mental transformations he has ever seen in a fighter. Rogan has glimpsed the behind-the-scenes footage, the speed, precision, and physical evolution that feels less like a comeback and more like a mission. It's a fighter who silenced the distractions that once ruined his prime and returned to the relentless grind where true champions are made.
This is me, Michael Chandler. Michael Chandler and myself have done the show, The Ultimate Fighter. We've had a good back and forth. He's a good, tough guy. And, you know, the Mac is excited to get back for sure. What better way to come back than such an iconic event? Done deal, signed, delivered. It ain't a negotiation. Wow. It's a done deal, signed, delivered. McGregor will compete in the White House alongside the President Trump's administration. I believe I have a 6-month operation ahead of me to get ready for this, to put on one hell of a show for the American people in celebration of their great birthday, 250 years of independence, incredible business together. I'm the highest generating fighter of all time in the Ultimate Fighting Championship.
McGregor has gotten himself to a point where he's, you know, he is and will be, whether he stops fighting or not, one of the biggest superstars in sports, period. And he's gotten to a level of success in his life. He has to, I think, be motivated by something. He's accomplished everything, and especially financially. And now he's got to find something that truly motivates him to want to come back and do this again.
Yeah.
I don't know if the White House is it, but we'll see.
By the way, speaking of the White House card, Conor McGregor was at the Bare Knuckle show in Manchester. And earlier in the week, last week that is, the boys talked about this, him putting out the tweet that he wanted 100 million to fight on the card, including the 100 US, quote, golden visas for himself and his family and friends. So he wants 100 milli, and then he was asked about this at the Bare Knuckles show. Here's what he had to say.
Yes, let's go.
Donald agreed to the terms for the White House card.
You know, I'm not negotiating with the UFC on behalf of myself for this fight, like usual. I'm negotiating with the United States of America
on behalf of Ireland for this fight. So it's a peculiar one. But Trump and the administration have been fully supportive and backing, and I cannot wait
Should John
to
Jones
put
be on
on
that
the show.
card?
Yeah.
What do you think of Canelo Crawford?
Okay, so that's fascinating. He's saying that he is negotiating with the United States government. Now, who is actually going to pay him in the end?
All this momentum is building toward one of the most unusual and high-profile events the UFC has ever attempted, the White House fight card. Dana White is determined to stack the lineup with names so massive they'll dominate headlines, and at the top of that list sits Conor McGregor. No fighter commands attention like McGregor, and after years of drifting, he now looks laser-focused on reclaiming the throne he once left behind. The only debate is about his opponent. Some fans are pushing for Michael Chandler, a matchup with a storyline that has simmered for years and already feels cinematic. Others expect Dana might make a shocking, headline-grabbing choice. A McGregor headliner at the White House would be the ultimate mix of politics and sport, a crossover the UFC has never attempted. Meanwhile, Jon Jones is working just as hard to secure a spot on that stage. But his history of strained relationships, backing out of key fights, and frustrating Dana White repeatedly makes him a complicated puzzle, even at UFC's biggest moment.
You know what I mean? Like if Trump says, yes, I think you should get $100 million to fight on this card, who's actually cutting that check? This is fascinating stuff. What a journey it's going to be to get to this card in June of 2026. $100 million seems like a little bit outside of the UFC's typical, I don't know, actually, you know what? With the new TV deal and the double, rights fee raise, maybe everyone is going to be making that kind of money.
I don't know about everybody, but I think Conor McGregor can command it.
Yeah. Do you guys think that Trump and his team are going to say, we want these people on this card?
Yes.
Yeah, so do I.
Yep. It's a
which is why
a representation for the U.S.
Right.
Which is why I keep going back on the don't they want Americans to go over? I don't we keep having these fantasy cards, but I do feel like there has to be an indication.
I don't think they care about the result. I think they just care about
think so?
who's on the card.
I think they want and all the Americans just get dusted. I don't think that goes over hot.
Chandler, McGregor, this is Canada.
Let's say Chandler
US
loses
versus Ireland, and it's the biggest star in the history of the sport. At that point, you can't worry about that stuff. I just think they want to have the big. When Donald Trump was the owner of the Trump Taj Mahal and all this stuff, he wanted the biggest fights. This is his version of a fight card in 1988.
What's the biggest fight there is? What ingredients need to go into the biggest fight there is? Like if you had an open checkbook or you had the magic wand, and I'm not asking you to put two people together. I'm not asking you to bring in the biggest draw in the business, Chael Sonnen, and put me opposite somebody. I'm asking, aside from the names, what would you need to put the biggest fight on? You want to know where this is coming from? The story that Conor McGregor is being talked to headline the White House card. I don't buy it. I can't buy it. Why are we be turning to Conor McGregor? And the answer is also out there, because he is the sport's biggest star. That is true. So is that what you need? If you've got the open checkbook and you've got the magic wand, without saying names, do you say, I'm going to put as my main event the sport's biggest star? Is that your answer? Doesn't matter who he's fighting. What if it's a championship match? You have an open checkbook and you have a magic wand and you don't use any names, but you're going to put the championship on. Would you say heavyweight? Would you say women's 135? Would you say wherever Kazmat Chimaev's at? How is it that you would answer that question? And then what if you're really going to go for a big fight? What if you really follow this for a long time? You're going to do what we used to call a super fight, but now we call it title versus title. You're going to take the champion of a weight class and you're going to put them with another champion of a weight class. Your A side and your B side are both going to be champions. You don't get to use names, but that's the ingredients you need to bring the biggest card ever. And it's one of the reasons that I'm struggling with the idea that McGregor is being penciled in the middle of 2025 for a card that sits dead center in the middle of 2026 at a venue yet to be built. for tickets that are yet to be on sale. I struggle with it because we're openly saying if we're going to put Conor on there that there's no title. Unless you believe that Conor McGregor is going to demote himself.
For Jon Jones keeps trying to grab attention, chase global headlines, and secure a spot in what could be the UFC's most unusual event ever, but Dana White has begun to step back. Every delay, every failed negotiation, and every instance where Jones sidestepped challenges like avoiding a fight with Tom Aspinall remains fresh in Dana's mind. In contrast, Conor McGregor has quietly rebuilt himself, and he's the fighter who seems to have regained Dana's trust. Jones, once hailed as the era's most gifted talent, now risks being seen as a liability. McGregor, who was once the sport's biggest headache, is transforming into its most valuable asset. While Jones appears to be slipping under the weight of past mistakes, the White House card now acts as a defining moment, the line between fighters Dana believes in and those he's done managing. As the summer approaches, the UFC isn't just prepping a historic event, it's setting the stage for McGregor's return, a comeback that could redefine the sport. Everyone feels it, Joe Rogan, fellow fighters, and fans alike. This is not the distracted McGregor of years past, it's the focused, rebuilt, and unstoppable version. If he headlines the White House card, the UFC may never be the same.